Hi, I'm Denise Solomon,
And I'm Jen Tice.
and we are the authors of your textbook. We're really excited that you're taking this class, and we're really excited that our book will be part of your journey through the study of interpersonal communication. A couple of things that I would ask you to think about before you start your study of interpersonal communication. This is a really interesting course. Of course, we love interpersonal communication. It's what we study and do all the time. But we're always excited when somebody is beginning their formal study of interpersonal communication because there's so much that you can learn over the course of this semester. One of the things I always try to highlight for people who are just beginning to study interpersonal communication in a class like this one is that it's a very unusual enterprise because, you know, when you study history, you're studying something that happened in the past to other people. And when you study chemistry, you're understanding the properties of elements that exist outside of you. But when you study interpersonal communication, you're studying something that you do every day, all the time. This book will ask you to reflect on your own practices, the ways that you communicate with strangers, with acquaintances, with close family members, with your very best friends. And so your lives become the workshop within which you're going to learn about interpersonal communication. Parts of the book are going to challenge you to think about and maybe develop some uncertainty about how you communicate. When you start learning about the influence of culture, for example, on your interpersonal communication, you're going to see just how very subjective communication is, and that the way you see things are in part a function of all of these cultural elements that you bring to an interaction. And when you learn about self and identity, you'll see that your own self-concept and how you see yourself influences what you think other people are doing and saying. So some of the simple ways in which people think about interpersonal communication, I mean, we don't think about it. We do it all the time without really having to worry very much about it. This class is going to ask you to be reflective about that and maybe see that communication is actually pretty fallible. And given that it's fallible, what kinds of things can you do to be a more effective communicator? How can you be more thoughtful about interpersonal communication? We're also going to take you on a journey looking at the basic pieces of communication, language and nonverbal communication, how emotions show up in communication, and something as basic as listening, all the ways in which you can be compromised in your effort to listen, and what kinds of things you can do to become a more effective listener.